And good afternoon, or good morning, good evening, depending where you're watching from. This is Barry Selby. I am a relationship attraction expert as well as a best-selling author and a passionate champion for the divine feminine. Today's topic, actually, this is messages from the masculine number 60. Yes, number 60. Been going quite a while now. This particular topic is about, I'm calling it relationship challenge because frankly, it's a challenge for those of us who are awake and aware. And I'm calling it staying the same. I'm actually bouncing this off of another person's broadcast earlier today, who I'm actually going to partner with on a Facebook Live later this week, named Whitney Freya. And she talked about, and by the way, good to see you if you're in my scope, that's Periscope, Facebook Live. I'm actually going to be repurposing this to YouTube, so I will maybe wave and nod to you if you comment on this broadcast. If you have any questions, I may repeat them and then answer them, but I won't necessarily interact with you directly because on YouTube it won't make sense, just so you know. But thank you for being here and thanks for watching. And if you're commenting, thank you for that too. So, where I was going to, my friend Whitney Freya did a talk this morning about a constructing relationship, which echoed a chapter in my book, 50 Ways to Love Your Lover, in case you're wondering what it's called. She basically was talking about how a woman and a man, she spoke about her own experience too, but I won't get too much detail because it give her space for her own privacy, but she was talking about the idea of a relationship where the man was out getting things done, making the home safe and building a stable environment and relationship, whilst his wife, his partner, was out exploring and growing and learning and bringing things back to him to show him. That happens. The downside or the conflict that was showing up is that he wasn't willing to grow with her, and also he was trying to shut it down because he was focused on safety, creating a safe environment that's stable and home. Meanwhile, she is going, but look at this amazing experience of growing and learning and becoming bigger and better than we were, spiritually speaking and humanly speaking, and all these other things. And he wasn't moving. In my book, I think it's chapter 5 or 6, I call it the rubber band theory of relationships. And the way I describe it is, in a simple terms, and then I'll go in deeper, so just give you a framework I'm talking about, is that in a relationship, it's very hard, which is why the title is what it is, to stay the same. Things happen in our life that change us, either unconsciously or outside of control, or inside because we choose to make changes. We grow, we learn, we expand, we learn new things. And the way I talk about the rubber band theory of relationship, it's kind of a theory, is that when we're in a relationship, we have a certain, I'm trying to think about rubber band handy, I don't. Imagine a rubber band. Basically, two people together, they're connected. And there has to be some level of tension, which is kind of, you can call it the chemistry, the polarity, whatever you want to call it, but there's a certain level of tension that keeps it exciting. However, at a certain point, there's something happens, and it could be a traumatic based, it could be a trauma that happens, an accident, a death in the family, an accident, an illness, something dramatic can happen that will change the paradigm of the relationship. Or it could be that one of the partners discovers yoga, or finds a spiritual path, or opens a book that changes their life. It could be anything, really. But it changes the construct or the mindset of one of the people in the relationship. At that point, there's a tension that's put on that relationship that's going to create a lot of friction between the two partners. This is where one of three things can happen. The first is that the person who has changed and grown is so much in their new element, the other person's going to go, wow, I want to be like that too, or I need to be with that person, and they will then basically grow into that same space, and the pressure will come off and the relationship will become more relaxed again. Because both partners are now growing or expanded or whatever that is, again, based on what happened. The second option is that the person who's grown may realize it's really, what may for them realize it's temporary or transitory, and realize their relationship with their partner who's static is actually more comfortable than they want to be there. They move back into that relationship again. That's rare, but it does happen. The third option, which has happened more often than not, unfortunately, is the partner that's growing and the partner that's not growing have nothing in common anymore, and the relationship ends. They leave, they part ways. I had Robert much easier to demonstrate, but I think we got the model there. So the challenge in this modern society, and I'm calling it modern because we're waking up more and more, I don't mean necessarily social media wise, although this is going to be on social media, but it's more about the fact there's more information available to us, there's more connection because of social media that brings us together globally. There's more awareness, more opportunity to grow and discover and explore who we really are, which for some of us, me included, is exciting. In past relationships, it wasn't. So let me just illustrate a couple of past of my own less than pretty experiences, just to give you some personal investment in this story. I was in a relationship with a partner that we were both in the process of going through some seminars, but very different reasons for it and different directions going for it. And so I remember trying to hang in there to stay with her, but where she wanted to go was not where I wanted to go. I felt that, and truth be honest, I was honoring my own choices to go a different direction. We actually were going growth on different paths. Maybe that's the fourth option, where the relationship ended because we weren't on the same page. And it was painful at the time, but looking back, I knew I had to choose it. I just knew I had to say yes to this new paradigm, because where I was going has to be where I'm going, like it is now. In fact, having been on this accelerated path for almost over 30 years, maybe not accelerated, but certainly the last 10 years of being very much immersed and passionate about this paradigm of the masculine and feminine polarity, which what informs and speaks through my work, I'm clear about I won't date anybody who's not in this mindset understanding either, because frankly, we would have this immediate tension that would break us apart if she's not willing to grow or be in that same framework. And if she's starting to do the journey, she's 10 years behind me, that wouldn't feel good either. Of course, if she's 10 years ahead of me, that'd be challenging as well. So I'm not saying which one's better or worse, just different. So bring it back into context. Staying the same in relationships is really hard work, because life happens to us, life changes, as I mentioned at the beginning. The piece of this, and it's funny because I'm just reflecting on another post I'm watching on Facebook through one of my friends who I was speaking with earlier, that she was saying about the one thing that she was asking the women for one thing that a man would do or not do in dating. Well, the challenge is that those initial dating things that men do that make you more attracted to him or make him more attractive to you, ladies, oftentimes it's nothing to do with what's going to happen down the road. So the challenge of having a spark right at the beginning, that chemistry at first sight, or that immediate love at first sight syndrome, it is a syndrome sometimes, there's a piece missing from that. Because we can be attracted to the initial behaviors, the presentation, the facade, in a way, of the person we're meeting. And I've met some women who were definitely putting up some facades. They're very attractive ones, by the way. But who they were didn't match the facade. Of course, because it is a facade, as in false front. The challenge, opportunity, reality is that we are way much more than we can express on a first date. I mean, let's be real about this. So to meet someone at that front door and say, oh, that's who they are, great, wonderful, meanwhile the whole house behind them is completely different from the front door, is an illusion. And it's delusional to think that way. So the idea of like meeting somebody and on the first date saying, oh, they have this, this, and this, that's the ratio I want to have, we're going to stick to this forever. Good luck, seriously. So the what's I want to say? The lesson perhaps in this, the suggestion I have in this, is truthfully that we are in a place in our journeys, as long as you're more than 20, 25 years old usually, where our distinct intention for relationship is one that we can grow in, grow with, and grow for. At least that's what I hope. That's my, okay, maybe it's just me, maybe you don't have that feeling, but for me personally, that's part of the requirements for me in a relationship. And so to have a relationship that is growing and evolving means I have to grow and evolve too, as does my partner, because the whole thing is growing. So it's a requirement in that place. And maybe I'm one of the few men doing this, because what I know is that women, generally speaking, now I'm talking generally in my, let me frame it. Generally speaking, amongst the women I know and the men I know in the communities I'm involved with. So it's not the whole planet, it's not every man, so just bear in mind that I'm speaking perhaps in a small minority, truthfully, is that more women are passionate about growth, learning, and spiritual development than men are. In the seminars, retreats, workshops, rooms, sanctuaries, environments that I spend my time in, and it's a little secret, by the way, for the guys watching, there are way more women than men. Always, I mean, it's usually like a 70-30 split, quite often, where there's more women than men. Now, the challenge, the opportunity is that we can grow as men. More men can show up and grow and be in the evolutionary process ourselves, because it is comfortable for us to be static. Okay, I'm going this direction now. So I'm watching the stuff come through, so I'm just speaking to where it goes through. The masculine's strength is in presence, is in being solid, as in unmoving. The feminine strength is in movement and evolution. So the challenge in the personal growth arena is more women doing it than men, because women love change and growth and flow. We men like to be stable and static. That's the masculine strength. And the truth is, in the personal growth industry and the evolution of spirit and all the things we do, is we don't stay the same. which is hard for us in masculine embodiment to stay the same, which is the challenge. So, as I ask the question to myself, I get anything else to come behind it, that for us men in the masculine, the recognition is that who we are, our core is solid, is permanent, is the same. It doesn't change. It's core. It's what's I'm looking for? It's the depth of spirit. It doesn't have any change in it. It's constant. However, our participation, our physiology, our mindset can all change, and it won't affect who we are. That may be the saving grace for us men, to be masculine and evolving at the same time. That sounds pretty good. I like that. All right, that one I'll put separate as a bookmark for another talks another time. But ladies, you are gifted naturally in your feminine to be in this flow, like a river flowing down from the mountain. The masculine is the river banks, which is static and stable and solid, so you can flow naturally. Ladies, your energy is the feminine energy that flows and grows. So in the growth, evolutionary journey of what life is about, it's very easy for you, ladies, when you're in your feminine, because some women I know don't remember that, which is why I work with them to help them get that. A whole other topic again, that's like making a list on the side. But you ladies have a natural penchant, I was going to say the wrong word, French word, penchant? You have a natural gift, that's the word. I don't know what the word was going to be, it didn't come out right. Penchant? Yeah, whatever. You ladies have a natural gift, a natural adaptability to be in the path of growth and evolution. To change your mindset, change your experience, to change the way you feel is innate every single moment. I talked about this at my talk last week, about how, it was actually last Tuesday, I was speaking live event. The Facebook Live is on my wall. I've already posted yesterday, in case you want to watch it. I was talking to an audience of women about, in this many topics, I talked about how women, you ladies, have a resonance with how you feel moment to moment to moment. So that, for example, the length of your haircut, the weight of your earrings will change how you feel by the way when you put them on. We can generally put up with shoes that don't fit well as men. You know, we have this ability to adapt into a static position, whereas you ladies will always change based on your environment. And that is the difference that works, because it's that difference that makes us attracted to each other. Static and static doesn't attract. Static and movement does in this dance. Trust me about that one. So to wrap all this up in a nice little bundle, because I'm realizing I've covered about 17 more things than I planned to, staying the same in a relationship, that was the title, yes. The relationship challenge of staying in the same is impossible for women, because women naturally are in feminine women. I've got to keep reminding myself to label this properly. For many women out there who are in a growth environment, growth expression, their joy and their fulfillment is to grow and evolve and become more themselves, to blast forth their light in a beautiful way. And they want their partners, their men, to join them and to embrace that. I've seen that enough to know I love that, and I'm willing to be there for my partner in that place. But a lot of men out there are afraid of that, because they want to have their peace undisturbed. They want to be static and solid, because that's where the masculine resides. But again, as I said earlier, the masculine heart can be solid and grounded, whilst our experience can change constantly too. So we can be in the dance with our feminine partners, and it won't upset us to our solid foundation. That's the word, in a way. Because for the masculine, the roots run deep, so we don't move very much. But the feminine is more like the river. So the differences of the energetics don't work against us if we include those, if we understand those, if we really experience and explore our true unique expressions in the masculine and feminine, and bring it together from an authentic place. So this is a long-winded way of answering my friend's Facebook Live early today, who I'll be talking to tomorrow. We may do a test drive and do a Facebook Live together, because we have a lot to talk about in this conversation. So this is my counterpoint and a suggestion to add to what she already said. Does not argue at all. Actually adds to what she says. So I'm actually, you know what I'm going to do? If you're on Facebook Live, if you're watching this Facebook Live, I'll post below the link to her Facebook Live from early this morning to see what she was talking about, because I felt her raw emotion in it, but I also felt her truth in it, big time. And so I wanted to speak a little bit to that. So, I guess that's it. For those who are watching me for the first time, these Facebook Lives generally are not actually me thinking about content I've rehearsed or scripted. It's actually what comes through from my up there, whatever, call it whatever you want. So I notice what happens is when they stop, I feel myself come very present to being here and then looking to wrap it up because there's nothing else coming through the channel. So I'm going to wrap it up, I guess. Thank you for joining me, by the way. If you've been watching this since the beginning, thank you. If you're watching the replay, thank you again. If you ask any questions in the comments below or post your thoughts and ideas in the below as well, I'd appreciate that. I'll respond to them. This will be repurposed and put onto YouTube as well, so you can watch it. If you're watching it there, you can do the same thing, put comments below. And I am building a solid archive of these broadcasts. This is number 60 of a series, and I'm actually in the middle of a 21-day challenge after I did a 30-day challenge. So this is number 60 in a series, and all of my broadcasts up to number 59, and then later on today, including this one, will be on my website. We can watch any one of them in any sequence, however you want. And that'll be at barryselby.com/VLOG, as in video blog. And if you have any questions, again, reach out to me. If you know anybody should watch this for their own benefit, please share this with them. And if you want help in really discovering your own gifts, especially for women of near feminine, reach out to me, I can help you. So that's it. Thanks for watching, thanks for being with me, and I'll be back again tomorrow with messages from the Masculine number 61. I don't know what the topic's going to be yet. These are all fresh every day. Freshly made just for you. All right, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.